Hey folks, welcome to Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. Thought I'd give you an update on my single seed challenge. Check out this Black Beauty tomato plant. Nice and strong. It's been well cared for so far. A little bit of sign of stress every now and then, but some tomatoes just do that. They curl up whether they're stressed or not. I'm not sure if this Black Beauty is one of those kind of cultivars. I had one a couple years ago, a Costaludo Florentino, and those plants were just always constantly had their leaves curled up like they were stressed out, but they put on tons of fruit. So yeah, this guy's getting a little big for his britches here. This little peat pot, I said that I would plant this directly in, probably go direct to soil out of this peat pot. That's why I started it in a larger pot. But I'm not going to be able to put this out on the day I expected to. Number one, we're having 2 frosts coming this week, and the next week I'm not going to be able to plant. I'm not going to be here. So yeah, I'm going to pot this up. I'll explain why I'm going to pot this up. Because I'll be out of town, I won't be able to keep watch over this as tightly as I'd like to, but there will be people here who will, and so I have to leave very good instructions. And yeah, I want it to be able to absorb a little bit of unattentiveness. If I leave it in this little peat pot, this peat pot evaporates water out quite quickly, and it could dry up. You can see that even while I've been taking care of it, the shrinking and expanding of the medium here has pulled the soil away from the wall of this peat pot, indicating that it has been pretty dry, and then it's shrunk a bit. I'm going to put it in a plastic pot, and I'm going to put it in a slightly larger one, which will help keep moisture under the lights a little bit better. It'll give a buffer, I think, and allow this plant to be cared for with maybe 2 waterings during the time I'm gone. So yeah, I'm going to put it in here in some potting soil. I like to take the peat off because I don't believe that the roots grow through here as well as they advertise. As you can see, the roots do just kind of bump up against there and maybe even do a little bit of air pruning rather than growing through. But look at those roots, there's some growing into it. That's a nice root system. It's not too crowded in there yet. That's exactly the right time to plant into more soil, is when the roots aren't circling, they're healthy, but they're at the point where they probably need more room to grow. So I'm going to drop that in there, add some more soil. So you saw how much soil went in there. That's probably 2.5 times more soil than it had, and it's nice and fresh soil with nutrients in it. So I expect this to do well, and I expect it to survive my absence. That's a pretty little plant, huh? There's purple veins in there. All those hairs along there. When I plant this thing out into a container, the final place that it will grow, I'll plant it all the way up to this lower stem. I might even pluck that one off, and all these hairs will become roots, or at least they have the potential to become roots. I'm going to let it get some sun today, just a few moments, 15 minutes or so. It hasn't been outside yet. Look at that, it's almost 80 degrees today. It's crazy. February's not even over yet. Things are starting to look a little shaggy as spring starts to come around. I'm gonna have to pull that fence up and edge along the garden beds there, cut the grass. Fall crops are starting to diminish now. The carrots need to be harvested, all of them. The beets, they're doing well. That kale's still the most beautiful plant in the garden, I think. And I still have not made anything with that, but I intend to. Intense, huh? Always intending. Onions are going strong. I've been harvesting a little bit of the tops of these for recipes. But yeah, those look really good. I got to get some fertilizer on there. You can see, let me show you this. This is interesting. You can see that in the middle, where the weed competition is less, the plants are very vigorous and strong. Over here, where the plants have to compete with that lettuce, you can see they're growing at a slower rate. And then over here, the backup onions, this is bagged soil, and it's not that nutritious. Most of it's just peat moss, and at the bottom is depleted soil. There's not much nutrition in here. They're growing even slower. Yeah, these are all coming out though. I'll be cooking with these, but they're all coming out so I can put other things in here. Remember my refugees from my thinning of my peppers? Yeah, I just threw them out here on the night before that very cold morning. These all were destined for compost, and they weren't looking very healthy. And I thought, you know, I'll throw some soil in this bin that I had lying around. I'll just plug them in. I don't even know what they are. That's going to be kind of a pepper surprise. And I put 2 sad little tomatoes in there too. That one looks like it's putting out a new shoot, even though it was knocked back by that frost. That one's probably dead. But yeah, they're growing. I'm surprised. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. These were my refugees from the fall garden. And that's not even soil. These I've plugged in some mulch. Look at there, I got a cauliflower coming in. That is cool. These are Japanese red turnips. I forgot the exact name of the variety. I'll try to look that up for you, but Hita bin something. But I'm letting them go to seed because I like this turnip, and I'm going to grow some from seed. I'm going to try to save my own seed. And yeah, that's kind of cool, huh? They're looking ratty, but this warm snap, I mean, it's actually warm today. It has caused these to bolt. These big heads of cabbage. I am currently collecting materials for sauerkraut. I need some caraway seeds, so I got to go to the store, but these will be harvested. And those over there as well. We're going to make some sauerkraut. The citrus is in bloom. There he is. Look at this. I got bees everywhere in here. If you've never smelled a citrus tree in bloom, you're missing out. Wow, we got almost a whole swarm of bees in here. I don't know if you can see that, but there are bees all over. Now, I still haven't come and pruned this lemon tree. It's real dense in there, and there's a lot of bush and brush you can see down in there. I don't know if you can see how dense it is in here, but it's a jungle. I got to clear this out and open it up a bit, but I want these bees to have the benefit of coming and pollinating this tree and getting the nectar they need to survive. So I guess I'm being lazy about it, and that's my excuse. If you've watched my citrus video when I went and purchased these things, you can see all this is new growth. That's encouraging. This is my key lime. Nice. I look on this garden with delight. It's not much. It's just under 300 square feet of actual space in these beds. But you know what? I've grown a lot of food in here over the years. This garden is going into its 6th year. I remember putting this in with my son. We had such a good year, and about this time I get antsy for spring. I love spring. My favorite garden of all time was spring, where this had Swiss chard right there. I had Tabasco peppers right there. I had okra down at the end, and I had poblano peppers in here. I had shishito peppers down there. I had tomatoes all through this bed, much densely packed, much more dense than they should have been. But what did I know? And then over there I had beans and cowpeas. And man, that garden gave me such joy. It was a delight. My son and I built it that year. That was the first spring garden that came up in here. And I think it was first. No, that was our second spring garden that came up in here. And I didn't have a YouTube channel back then, so I just shared it on my blog and pictures. But that's kind of that garden and the joy it brought. That's the standard. I hope this coming spring, this winter garden has given me that kind of joy. Although it's looking kind of sad and beat down now, yeah, this is a good garden. What you find there, huh? Hey, hey. There's what Phoebe was looking at. Wow, look at these beautiful things. These are beautiful. What is this? This is just a wildflower, a weed. Look at these leaves. They're kind of arrow-shaped. Wow, this is so cool. So rare to see a pink and deep red flower like this that's a wildflower. What is that? I'm going to leave that there. That's beautiful. Thanks for joining us on Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. Please follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. That really encourages us, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.